This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening, everyone. Dan and Connie are off tonight. I'm Giselle Fernandez. There is a major change tonight in U.S. immigration policy. The Clinton administration is starting a campaign to make U.S. citizens out of millions of immigrants who are in this country legally. Correspondent Linda Douglas has more about the new policy and what's behind it.
Though the public is clamoring to stem the flow of immigration into the United States, 10 million immigrants, like restaurant manager Jaime Sanchez, already live here legally. Now, for the first time, the U.S. government will begin actively encouraging legal immigrants to seek American citizenship. After 16 years as a legal resident, Sanchez says he's ready.
And I guess before, I didn't think about it too much, but now that I have a family and that I'm beginning to notice, I guess become more aware of that I am American.
Clinton administration officials have decided to begin pushing citizenship as a means of countering Americans' rising hostility toward immigrants. Immigration officials believe immigrants who become citizens will be more easily accepted.
There are very strong anti-immigrant feelings, and I think it's very worrisome. When people naturalize, Americans generally are reassured about their values and about their intentions and about their commitment to this country.
This is a major shift in policy because the United States has never gone out and actually encouraged persons to become citizens of the United States. One nation under God.
The INS will try to streamline the citizenship process and persuade immigrants that the process is simple. President Clinton has tried to take a hard line toward illegal immigration, beefing up the Border Patrol and making it harder for immigrants to win political asylum. But the citizenship policy aims for a softer line toward immigrants who are already here. Jaime Sanchez hopes it works.
I hope that people become more friendly towards foreigners.
Despite this new effort, critics complain President Clinton has still failed to come up with an overall immigration policy. Republicans will jump on the issue next year, urging laws to restrict public education for illegal immigrant children, laws to cut off public assistance for illegal immigrants, and laws to make deportation easier. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
Another potential campaign issue next year is the economy, and this is a very important day for the economy, the start of the holiday shopping season. As economics correspondent Ray Brady reports, millions of Americans followed the lure to the stores.
Even before all the Santas could get to work, consumers were lining up early this morning. You're hearing the opening gun on what's traditionally the year's biggest shopping day. More importantly, this year, it's a sign this might be the one Christmas when Americans start spending money again.
They can't wait for the economy. I mean, one way or the other, we're going to spend a little money here.
I think when all is said and done, Christmas sales will be up probably 8% or more.
So from California to Minnesota to New York's Fifth Avenue, the shoppers were swarming. By noon, this New York store alone had clocked more than 7,600 customers entering. Estimates are shoppers will spend an average of $646 this year, up $30 from last Christmas.
I think I'll be spending a little more. It was a little cheap last year, but times are a little better.
For many years, consumers played Scrooge at Christmas, not spending. Shoppers now say they want just one thing.
Sales, bargains.
All the styles you want, all the colors you want.
In a giant advertising blitz, Sears is inundating consumers with commercials. And in stores everywhere, 25% off, even 50% off. A strategy that can lead shoppers to want even more.
And they're already giving a sale, so why would you buy anything full price?
So don't be afraid to wheel and deal, say experts.
As we get closer to Christmas Eve, most retailers will be willing to bargain if you show them the color of your money or the color of your credit card.
Last year, spending picked up over the holidays, but then fizzled out. The hope is that this Christmas, the spending will continue and pick up the whole economy in the new year. Ray Brady, CBS News, New York.
Consumers not buying, an economy mired in recession, and politicians promising change to people short of cash. Sound familiar? Well, it's not the United States we're talking about this time. It's Japan. As Tokyo correspondent James Hattori reports, the Japanese have lost confidence in the economy and their future.
After 3 years in the economic dumps, Japan is a land of falling hopes for Emi and Naoki Tsurumi. He's a construction worker who helped build this pricey new shopping mall. But like many Japanese, he has no yen to spend.
You can't buy anything right here, you know, just looking around.
There's a lot of looking going on. Sales at Tokyo department stores have dropped for the 20th month in a row. The recession has hit every pocketbook. Traditional winter bonuses, which can total half a year's income, are the lowest in 18 years. In a country offering lifetime employment, even top college grads worry about getting an offer. Why us, this girl laments. Things are so bad, the government's latest economic report doesn't even mention the word recovery.
Getting worse, yes.
People are not spending much, and they feel fear for the future, so they are saving a lot.
Fear heightened by Japan's political uncertainty. Prime Minister Morihiro Hosokawa barely forced a package of political reforms through parliament. He'd vowed to resign if he failed. Japan's economic engine is stalled by a crisis of confidence. The old reliable ways are crumbling in a succession of political scandals. Japan's new leaders who campaign for change have a lot of convincing to do.
Convince the markets and convince the Japanese consumer that the process of reform has really started.
Most other countries would gladly take Japan's woes. Even now, unemployment here is less than 3%. Still, it's a new era of vulnerability in post-war Japan.
Used to be good, but not now. Too bad.
Leaving a generation of Japanese on the outside looking in. James Hattori, CBS News, Tokyo.
In Belgium, workers protesting government belt-tightening brought the country to a standstill today with a general strike. Police in Antwerp cracked down on workers protesting plans to hike taxes and freeze wages. Antwerp's port was shut down, as were Belgian schools, factories, and public transport. Too little government spending on education was the grievance in overnight violence that rocked France. Police in Bordeaux fired tear gas to disperse hundreds of students who pelted them with bottles and stones. They were protesting crowded classrooms and a shortage of teachers. Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, the secret war files of Winston Churchill, what he knew and what he might have prevented. And later, a CBS News reality check on the mysterious illness affecting Gulf War veterans.
Start fresh and get a whole other kind of chip.
Chip Shot.
Presto Chip Shot potato chips. Slices so thin they gotta be crisp. Regular or ripple cut. Fry them up or even microwave for a light, no-fat chip.
Chip Shot.
Perfect Chip Shot slices. Flavor them up for the taste you want. Clean up easy. Dishwasher safe.
Chip Shot.
Crisp, light, delicious. A whole other kind of chip. Chip Shot potato chipper.
Chip Shot.
From Presto.
You've heard of store cards, gas cards, even car cards. Well, now hear this. Introducing the new Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Use it to make purchases, and those purchases earn free Shell gasoline. Average drivers could save 10% of their yearly gasoline cost, and there's no annual fee. The Shell MasterCard from Chemical Bank. Call 1-800-FREE-GAS.
In a desperate move to sell oil, Iraq today finally gave in to a key UN demand. It agreed to long-term monitoring of its arms programs. The Iraqis called for an immediate end to the ban on oil exports and other Gulf War economic sanctions. While a U.S. spokesman was skeptical of the decision, a UN official called it a major breakthrough. Sanctions will not be lifted until the UN is sure Iraq is in total compliance. Some World War II secrets were revealed today with the release of hundreds of classified files. Until now, the documents had been for Winston Churchill's eyes only. Correspondent Mark Phillips reports from London.
Was the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor really a surprise, or could the U.S. have been warned? And was the wholesale slaughter of European Jews by Nazi Germany really only known to the Allies late in the war, or did they know earlier and decide to do nothing about it? Some of the answers to those questions were revealed in London today with the release of secret wartime intelligence documents from the files of Winston Churchill. By 1941, the British, already at war, had developed a sophisticated electronic eavesdropping apparatus to intercept and decode Japanese and German transmissions. And every day, a most secret file was provided for Churchill.
Well, they're absolutely crucial because they literally do show exactly what Churchill knew of German and Japanese movements, troop movements, plans at any particular date during the war.
In the days leading up to Pearl Harbor, for example, the British knew the Japanese embassy in Washington had been told to destroy files and decoding machines. War was imminent. But the message did not say where the attack would come. What Churchill knew of Japanese intentions in late 1941 was likely also known in Washington. But what he learned from these documents about Jews being killed by Nazis in the same time period was not widely known, and Churchill decided to keep it that way.
One report of September the 6th, 41, which is a very early report, talks of the shooting of over 3,000 Jews. Now, I think that this is worrying because these documents were withheld. This can generally be interpreted as a serving British policy in Palestine at the time in order not to create a panic among world Jewry and thereby to increase the pressure to allow Jews to enter Palestine.
More than 50 years later, the arguments still rage. The truth may lie in the documents released, finally, today. Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
Officials in Yemen are negotiating tonight for the release of a kidnapped American diplomat. They say he was seized by a tribal chief with a grudge against the Yemeni government. The diplomat is identified as Haynes Mahoney, head of the U.S. Information Service in Yemen's capital. He was abducted after attending Thanksgiving dinner with the U.S. ambassador. Stay with us for much more CBS Evening News, including what may be the answer to solving an age-old problem.
I've been a stage and screen director for a long time, and Stella's been an actress for a long time.
For 30 years, we put money in Dreyfus Mutual Funds every month. Dreyfus is a leader in mutual funds.
In mutual funds, we're diversified over many, many stocks.
That's good.
Now, they say the play's the thing. Well, mutual funds aren't too bad either.
You're saying it all. Let's do this again. Wait a minute.
Will we claim the new Norelco razor shaves closer than ever without hundreds of tests to back it up? Say our new Precision Groove helps the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer without proof? No. We wouldn't say it's our closest shave ever without science, sensors, tests. But of all the tests that prove it's closer, the most convincing requires a personal touch. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
The new Accord EX Coupe. There's more horsepower. Handling and comfort are perfectly balanced. It has dual airbags and anti-lock brakes. We've taken it about as far as you can go. The new Accord EX Coupe from Honda.
How can you own a house like this and be broke? You can't unless you live in Florida. It's not just the place to go for a suntan, it's the place to go bankrupt. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Congress officially adjourned today until after New Year's. One thing Congress did this week before leaving was approve more health care for veterans of the Persian Gulf War. Thousands of those veterans say they came home with mystery illnesses, what many call Desert Storm Syndrome. Does it really exist? Correspondent Jim Stewart has tonight's CBS Evening News reality check.
Of all the health problems testified to by returning Desert Storm veterans, none have had the impact of Nick Roberts, a lymphoma patient who told Congress fully a third of his old Georgia CB unit has developed cancer, and somebody was covering it up.
We found that our medical records had been purged. We have this and can prove it. Why was this done and who ordered it?
Congress jumped on the claim, demanding answers from the Pentagon.
Why not take the Georgia battalion? We're out of 30 guys, out of a battalion force, 23 of them now have life-threatening cancer.
It was perhaps the most dramatic claim yet made in the Persian Gulf War mystery illness debate, badly scaring veterans and their families. But as with many of the claims made by both sides in this argument, we found the reality to be somewhat different. CBS News talked with the doctor who examined those Georgia CBs.
No, we don't feel that's true at this point. Some of them have lymph node swellings, and that's concerning. We've done biopsies on some of these people, but
are the biopsies negative or positive?
Well, negative for cancer at this point.
We also checked on the claim of another soldier, Alabama National Guardsman Willie Hicks.
110 came back with the unit, and of that 110, it was around 85 that's sick. We also had one guy that died by the name of Staff Sergeant Bale.
Alabama Guard officials say only 5 people in Hicks' unit are being treated by the VA, none for cancer, and the one death, they say, was from a pre-existing heart condition. But if you're keeping score, the Pentagon has made some serious misjudgments about the mystery illness as well, and only now is admitting there even is such a thing.
So part of the problem with this is getting our hands around it and defining it as a specific disease, although I'm convinced that it is.
General Blank is the military's Persian Gulf Syndrome top man. Yet he was as surprised as anyone recently when, after months of denying chemical weapons were used in the Gulf, officials conceded, well, maybe there were.
Why didn't you know about it? Again, I don't think that it was believed. I don't think it was till after the press conference that then folks looked at it and said, you know, this could have been.
The Pentagon and the VA have also finally put a stop to doctors dismissing the disease, accusing soldiers of malingering.
In the beginning, we didn't recognize the extent of this. Now we do. Now we take it seriously.
And on an issue that's become clouded by exaggerations on both sides, that's at least one admission, say Gulf War veterans, they've been waiting 2.5 years to hear. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
There is another medical mystery, and this one affects all of us. It is the aging process, and here's the question. Could there be a way to slow it down, maybe even turn back the clock? CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott reports tonight on one promising line of research in this age-old quest.
For centuries, scientists have been searching unsuccessfully for that magic potion to delay the aging process. Now some leading researchers believe the fountain of youth for men may be swirling inside these test tubes. It's called testosterone.
It does actually reverse and slow down these aging processes, and it can literally give them a new lease of life.
Testosterone is an essential male hormone the body uses for growth and sexual development. Testosterone levels naturally decline with age, causing symptoms much like menopause. Studies show testosterone supplements in middle-aged men can improve muscle strength, bone mass, energy, mood, awareness, and sexual drive.
It's given me back maybe 10, 20 years.
47-year-old Bernard Collins has been receiving testosterone injections for 4 years with no side effects. He says it's done wonders for his energy and desire for sex.
If he hadn't had this treatment, then we probably wouldn't have a marriage now.
But it's not risk-free. Testosterone may also increase the chance of prostate cancer and raise cholesterol. The federal government is now sponsoring testosterone trials across the country to determine its effect on aging. Officials are cautiously optimistic.
The FDA is also encouraged by this research. Last month it approved this patch for use by men who have low levels of testosterone. But officials warn it's not for everyone. Men who have adequate levels of testosterone, regardless of their age, may not benefit from this therapy and could be exposed to unnecessary risks. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
There could be another future shock in store for you, this time cloned Christmas trees. Scientists have been working to mass-produce trees, all with straight trunks and lots of branches. Now, if that sounds far-fetched, check this out. Researchers say they've cloned a natural disease-fighting gene from a tomato plant and transferred it into other crops. It could reduce the need for pesticides. And still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, searching for the truth among charges of political dirty tricks.
Salad shooter helps you every day.
How about some cheese for your pizza or perfect salad shooter hash browns for breakfast? Vegetables sliced or shredded, and nothing tops a salad like
Salad shooter
Slicer Shredder from Presto.
helps you every day.
Every second of an asthma attack
can feel like an eternity. That's why there's Primatene Mist. Primatene opens clogged breathing tubes, restores free breathing fast when speed counts, so you're breathing easy in practically no time. Primatene Mist, fastest type asthma relief without a prescription. And for hours of relief, Primatene tablets with the asthma reliever doctors recommend.
Announcing the early opening sale at Sears. Tomorrow, Saturday, from 8 to 10 a.m. only, you can save 35% on all dress, casual, and work shoes for the entire family. All men's dress and casual shoes and work boots, 35% off. All women's dress and casual shoes, flats and heels, 35% off. All kids' dress and casual shoes and outdoor boots are 35% off. Saturday morning, but just for 2 hours, the early opening sale from 8 to 10 a.m. at Sears, your home for the holidays.
Check this out. I'm eating a hero, even with my dentures, thanks to Super Polygrip.
Super Polygrip holds so tight many denture wearers can enjoy more of their favorite foods.
Even a hero.
Super Polygrip, now in easy squeeze tube.
College basketball is back with a battle in the Bluegrass State when Louisville collides with Kentucky. It's the season premiere of NCAA basketball Saturday on CBS.
Holiday weekend travel is no holiday for much of the country. Texas got some of the worst of the weather. Parts of the state got a coating of ice and snow and record cold. There were scores of accidents on the ground and scores of delays in air travel. The upper Midwest was snowed under as well, with at least 14 weather-related deaths since the holiday storm hit. A stormy political climate again in New Jersey, where the day after Thanksgiving was also a day of giving more testimony under oath, that is. Still at issue, possible lawbreaking and political dirty tricks in the New Jersey governor's race. Correspondent Eric Engberg has the latest.
Dan Todd, brother and campaign manager of New Jersey's Governor-elect Christine Todd Whitman, repeatedly denied today that Republicans used payoffs to discourage black voters from going to the polls. Todd faced questioning in Newark by Democratic Party lawyers who have sued to overturn the election. 5 days before Republican campaign consultant Ed Rollins boasted of a premeditated plan to suppress the black vote, Todd nearly used the same word.
And that is where a lot of our effort went and a lot of our planning, getting out the vote on one side and voters and keeping the vote light in other areas.
Now, Rollins says there was no talk or plan of suppression, but his news story raises several credibility questions. Item: Rollins testified he invented a fairy tale of political payoffs to torment James Carville, the losing campaign manager. But Carville's wife, staunch Republican Mary Madeline, says 3 days before Rollins dropped his story on reporters, he bragged to her, an obvious pipeline to Carville, about how they paid off black ministers. When Rollins was asked if he discussed the subject with Madeline, he said under oath, "No, I did not." Item: Rollins then attended a dinner party with journalists Roland Evans, Margaret Warner, and others who remember him bragging about holding down the minority vote.
There was no ambiguity in his testimony that he had not discussed that topic in either one of those discussions.
But whatever the holes in Rollins' story, the Democrats are at a dead end in trying to prove a conspiracy. No ministers have come forward to say they were offered money, and today's flat denials by Todd only buttress Rollins' claim that he made the whole thing up. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
You've waited for a Buick. You've waited for Buick quality at a low sticker price. You've waited for a car with Buick's reputation for safety. It seems you've waited for a century. Buick Century, with standard driver airbag, anti-lock brakes, power locks and windows, and more. All for $14,995. So don't wait any longer. See your Buick dealer today. This is the value of the century.
I drink B8 because...
Hey, I think it's good for me. It makes me peppy.
You got your vitamin A, your vitamin C.
I like it because it has those beta-carotenes in it. What's that word?
Beta-carotenes.
Pardon? Beta what?
You know, beta-carotene.
Muy sabroso.
Call me crazy, but I think it's delicious.
35 calories.
Really?
35?
Yes.
It's a kick.
I love you.
V8?
V8
Keeps me thin. It's zippy kind of thing, a zippy thing.
Watch how fast Dristan nasal spray works.
What do you smell?
I smelled something. I don't know what it was.
Use Dristan nasal spray. Now smell.
That's an orange. Dristan nasal spray worked fast.
Dristan nasal spray. Fast, effective relief.
My doctor said I didn't need surgery for my hemorrhoids. They weren't serious, and to use Preparation H.
Preparation H, trusted by millions to often help relieve the hemorrhoidal symptoms of itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours. Trust doctor recommended Preparation H.
So what do you want for breakfast?
You got something different?
Kellogg's Just Right.
Sounds good.
Honey, what do you want for breakfast?
Something different.
Kellogg's Just Right.
Sounds good.
Honey, what do you want for breakfast?
Something different.
Kellogg's Just Right.
Sounds good.
Kellogg's Just Right is just what you want. An exciting blend of sensational tastes and textures, so you always get something different.
What do you want for breakfast?
Kellogg's Just Right.
Sounds good.
Kellogg's Just Right. You just never get tired of it.
For the second time this week, Israeli soldiers have gunned down a Palestinian guerrilla leader. Violence erupted after the latest shooting today in Arab East Jerusalem. Once again, the dead man was a military commander of the Islamic Hamas group, which opposes the peace accord between Israel and the PLO. The continuing violence is threatening to delay the planned Israeli withdrawal from Gaza and the West Bank town of Jericho. That land, of course, is filled with lots of history, important to both Palestinians and Jews, and Israeli scientists are rushing to mine it while they still can. CBS News correspondent Bob Simon reports from the West Bank town of Jericho.
A long, thin line of archaeologists invades the stillness of the Judean desert, just up the hill from Jericho. It's called Operation Scroll, and it's the largest expedition ever mounted in the West Bank. 30 scientists, 300 workers, searching hundreds of caves, combing the sands where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered almost 50 years ago. But these Israeli archaeologists are digging themselves into a deep controversy. This is the district of Jericho, precisely the area which will be handed over to the Palestinians in coming weeks. This, the Palestinians say, is a last-ditch dig.
It's a campaign for 10 or 11 days to grab all they can before they hand over for the autonomy.
Nonsense, say the Israelis. The operation had been planned a long time ago, and besides, what they're looking for, they say, forms the core of Jewish heritage and therefore belongs to the Jewish state.
It's so important to find documents that I don't think that people are willing to give this chance away.
So far, they've unearthed more clouds of dust than anything else, and a few patches of papyrus. Evidence, apparently, that Jewish refugees lived in these caves some 2,000 years ago. That's what happens when archaeology is practiced here. It cuts to the core of the political problem. Who does this land really belong to? Who are the rightful owners? Palestinians want to get their hands on the shovels.
Without your heritage, you are displaced, you are without roots.
For now, it remains suspended between two owners, two claimants to the land and to all its secrets. For the Israelis, time is running out for the recovery of the timeless. To the Palestinians, it's little more than looting. But both sides have agreed that the fate of all the ancient artifacts will be decided in the peace talks. Bob Simon, CBS News, Jericho.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Bob Schieffer will be here tomorrow. For Dan Rather and Connie Chung, I'm Giselle Fernandez. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night and a good weekend.
Experience CBS News.
The Clinton plan for health care reform.
What does this all mean to you?
The CBS Evening News, team to cover your world.
This is CBS.